So I'm making a quick video showing exactly how I'm putting content on YouTube through GrokBot, which is seamless. I have Spike here. I just drag and drop the video in a folder. He takes it, goes, writes a title, description, loads it, gives me the link, all that kind of stuff. But I did find that the image generation model inside of GrokBot was just not great for thumbnails. So you could see if I go back up here, it was making kind of thumbnails like this and thumbnails like this that weren't that good. So I decided to supplement him and just level it up and make a skill outside of GrokBot that I'm going to give to him, the output. And what I'm doing is putting it in a couple different options. So I just want to show you guys through the process of inside not only of Grok, which is what I'm using right here inside of my Obsidian, but also what that looks like in terms of Codex and then also in terms of anti-gravity, because those are really the three models that can do image generation for this kind of stuff. So if I go into this, right, so what I do, I'll clear this out because I already ran this, but I'll show you what the output looks like. So all I'm doing is typing YouTube thumbnail, and inside that skill, I have it very clearly to say ask user question. So it's going to say ask user question in terms of like, should it have this? Should it have that? What should it do here? What should it do there? That's important for these kind of things because there's certain kind of thumbnails and certain things that I want to have and versus I don't want to have, right? So that's why it's important not to just spit out a random thumbnail. But you could see when I show you in a couple different iterations in other tools, it doesn't do that, right? So video title, what's the exact title of the video? So if I pull up an example video over here, I'll do a different one. So because I already did this one. So let's say it was here, this right here. So I really don't like that thumbnail. So I will go over here and I will say, here is the title. And do I want to show a face of me or no face? I want to show me, a dual brand desk. So center me, laptop, left, right icons, face, left, brand lockup. So different options. So I'll just pick A. Clean or chaos, I'll do chaos. And then do I want money flying in the background, fire, particles, debris? I'll do all of it. Short hook, I'll just put no text here. Hook for other, no text. And I could put, accent word if I wanted to. And then left product or right product. So this we're going to talk about Grok, right? Because we're talking about X. So I'll do that. Oh, and then right product. I will say type in another. I'll just put in space XAI logo. And then here, headshots, it has all the source files of all my headshots. So default, face close, 3/4, arms crossed, hands in pockets, or auto. So I'll just pick auto. And then my expression. So this is big, alerting, shocked, determined, smug, confused, right? So I'll say alert. And how many thumbnails do I want? So I want 4 variants. It's going to go and do that. So while that's running, this is running in Grok 4.6 with Grok Imagine. I have the same thing kind of pulled up. I'm not going to rerun it again, but I have the same thing that I ran inside of Codex. So you could see the output for what I ran in Codex is pretty good. It's not bad, right? It does look like me. That's exactly on par with no text, logo, and the product in this shot over here. But the fundamental difference for Codex is if I call upon the skill right here and just don't give it anything else, it's supposed to do ask user question. Codex, for whatever reason, doesn't really support ask user question, meaning it's not going to pop up. It's going to make me have this laundry list of all these things that I have to do. And I don't like that because that's going to make me have to go 1, 2, 3, 4. It just doesn't work for me, but the output is not bad. I would say it's second to what Grok's able to do. Now, the third one is anti-gravity, which is the Google model right here. So you could see inside here, when I did this, it's pretty close to what Codex was going to do or did. But the big difference is a lot of these don't look like me. Like that doesn't look like me. And this one really doesn't look like me. So, but the good thing with Codex is it actually is able to support, the good thing with anti-gravity is it's actually able to support ask user question. So if I put in the skill for a YouTube thumbnail, it is going to pull up those questions of, let the agent suggest it. I will type it in over here. Should I show the thumbnail? So me, and so on and so forth, right? The biggest difference is anti-gravity is able to do the ask user question, but the problem is the output isn't amazing. With Codex, the quality is pretty solid, but you have to do a little bit more work in terms of it's not doing the ask user question. The real win is Grok because it's giving really good output, but it's also doing the ask user question in the terminal, wherever you're using it. So you could see I'm able to spit it out and do stuff like this. And that looks leaps and bounds better. And I have 4 options here. So this all looks insanely great and better. I don't know what other words than the other 2 models, right? So, I have 4 different versions. So this and this. So you could see now I can then say, cool, it's going to throw it in my downloads folder. So in a second, it's going to throw it all in there. And then all I have to do is grab the thumbnail and give the URL to GrokBot and say, hey, replace this thumbnail for this video, which is what I was doing over here. So for these couple videos, I redid the thumbnails and it was like, okay, good, done, good, done, all this kind of stuff. So if I go back into this, so it's going to put it into my drive file over here, but it also throws it into this. So I can go and pick like which one I like, do it like this one, and I'll say, all right, no problem. And just file, I'll just save it. No, it's in my downloads folder already. So I will go to GrokBot and I'll just say, hey, replace this thumbnail for this video, and then just go to the video and whatever the URL was for that video. Oh, I was already on it. This. Fire it off. He's going to say, cool. No problem. I'll get you when I'm done. And you can see he's logged into my YouTube account. He's able to do all this kind of stuff. And he will say on it, probably swapping one onto this or whatever he's going to say. But you can see at scale, right? If I was to generate them inside of GrokBot, they weren't just that great. But just taking one extra step to running this separately, it's going to level up what you're doing. And then you don't have to worry about doing all these kind of things. Technically, I could probably install everything that I'm doing on the GrokBot terminal inside there and have him do it. But I just wanted to show you the different iterations and different versions. So on it, swapping it between those 3 models. So Grok is the best for this. Codex is probably second. Understanding you have to put in a lot more work. There's no ask user question. And anti-gravity or Gemini is third. You can ask user question, but the output just doesn't look accurate. Let me know what you guys think.